when I was making this project, I decided to stop watching TV. No sports, no TV, no Netflix, and no social media. And I literally had nothing to do but to listen to music and make music. I think like there's not really an artist I specifically sound like or you can put me with. I just feel like I'm one of one.
That might be the untitled.
That might be the greatest song ever made, honestly.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Stereo Vision Presents. We got a very special guest with us today, man. Out in California living. What's up, man?
What's going on? I'm D Boone. I'm from the Inland Empire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I wanted to actually talk to you about that because I seen you always repping LA with the hats and stuff like that. But when I watched your video, when you broke down West Side Story, you talked about where you're from specifically. So give the people a little knowledge about that.
So I just started wearing this hat a lot because I actually went to do an interview on Shade 45 with DJ Woo Kid, and my team was like, "Oh, you gotta have something to let him know like you're from Cali," and so I was like, "Oh, well, I got a little Dodger hat because I'm like a Dodger fan," and so I wore that, and everybody liked the hat, so they was like, "Just keep wearing that hat." So like, I don't know, and I wear black all the time, so I just wear this hat. But I'm actually from the Inland Empire, Corona, Riverside area, but mainly Corona. But it's like an hour away from LA.
Okay,
so
I see you.
yeah.
I see you. So how do you think growing up in Corona influenced the music that you make?
Well, I mean, I'm a rapper, but a lot of rap culture is centered around gang and poverty and things of that nature, and kind of the black struggle. But hasn't been my story, so that's kind of influenced the music I've made. And so I talk about my perspective, which is a little bit different than other rappers and what other rappers are talking about today. I think I'm a little bit less materialistic, but it's because I've had stuff growing up, you know what I mean? It's not something that I've had to like chase. So yeah, you can kind of hear it in my songs.
Okay, so talking about growing up, actually, did you always know you wanted to do something with music, or was music always a part of your life growing up?
No, not at all. My dad's a musician. My dad's an excellent musician. He's a piano player. And my auntie's a piano player. My uncle's a drummer. But I never took music serious. I played drums growing up, but my main focus was football. As we talked about, I'm a big dude, so I never really focused in on music. But the thing with sports, at some point, whether you're 45, whether you're 14, whether you're 18, it's got to stop.
It comes to an end.
It comes to an end, and so mine came to an end after high school, and I was just like, honestly, I was like empty. I was like, bro, I have no purpose because I spent my whole life, being a football player, and I'm not even good. So I
wasn't trying to lift the weights no more, man.
Yeah, no, I love lifting weights. I
don't know, man. I was out of it.
No, lifting. I just don't do legs. Forget that.
Oh, no.
I'm not squatting. I don't need no booty. That
hurts my knees, bro.
Yeah, exactly. My knees too. I don't need all that weight on my knees. So yeah, no, I just started making music, and I feel like it was a calling from God, and ever since then, I've just been running with it and fully committed to it.
So it's really interesting to me that you tell me that you came up around a lot of live instrumentation, piano players, and people like that, because you called yourself a rapper. But I'm listening to a lot of your previous works. The new album I want to get into later. That was incredible.
Thank you.
And I get this really R&B feel.
Yeah, it's R&B for sure.
It's in that lane kind of with, Blast from out here. He's really good.
Yeah.
And Don Toliver, y'all are, I really think you in that same lane that's kind of almost shifting the genre.
I've heard Don Toliver a lot recently this past year, and with this project, that's a name I've heard a lot as far as my sound, and then I've heard Blast for the vibe. But I feel like as much as I'd like to be identified with artists like that, I think there's not really an artist I specifically sound like or you can put me with. I just feel like I'm one of one, which everybody is.
I 100% agree. And I think that's why you stand out from the crowd.
Thank you.
That's what really separates you from everyone else, because you have the influences of not the same influences of those people. You have a similar sound, and you take it from where you're from. You know, I really hear where you're from in your music.
Thank you.
And then I also want to talk to you a little bit about who coming up influenced you.
Oh, that's a lot of people. I honestly didn't start listening to rap music until I got into high school. I actually grew up in a private school, and I don't know what they were listening to. So all I was listening to was my mom's music. So I grew up listening to a lot of neo soul and a lot of gospel music. A lot of Music Soul Child, Jill Scott, India Irie, John Legend, and a lot of gospel music, like just all the gospel music.
Did you grow up in the church at all?
Yeah, I've always been in the church my whole life. My dad's a church organ player.
Okay.
So that was one of my main influences. But I think as far as rap influences, J. Cole is like, that's my favorite rapper of all time. So he definitely influenced what I do. Even today, looking at kind of what Bino and Blast are doing, like I'm, inspired by them, obviously by Mustard, Ty Dolla $ign. But I think mainly like R&B has had the biggest influence on me. And I don't know, I guess that's where my sound comes from.
Okay, I gotta ask you then, what's your favorite J. Cole album or song?
My favorite album, is Forest Hills Drive, just because that's what I want my projects to be like. No skips. It's no skips on that. He does not miss. Every song has like I consider it like this when I make music. There's songs that are wavy, and then there's songs that have power, and like the songs with power are the ones where it's like you really like felt that. Yep. You feel me? Like whether you even like that genre or not, you feel that music. Every one of those songs on that project have power. And so that's why I kind of, I favor that album over the rest. Although I like all of his music, my favorite song by him, that's impossible.
That's a tough question.
I can't answer that one.
He got a crazy catalog.
Yeah,
He's been in the game forever, bro.
He got too many.
And he's inspiring people forever.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Definitely.
Dollar and a Dream. That's my biggest takeaway from J. Cole always.
He just can write, man.
Yes,
like
sir.
he can really write, and his storytelling abilities are, I think another reason why he inspires me so much is because he's so honest, and like he's just speaking from his heart. Every song you can hear like his personality in it. You can hear his train of thought as he's making the music. Like Lights Please, like that song, like.
Sir.
That is how you write a song,
That's
man.
A classic.
That's a classic, like.
And I see that influence in your music now.
Thank you.
Because when I was watching the video where you were breaking down West Side Soul, you talk about how you focus more on this project, how you wanted to really get your story across.
Yeah.
So talk about what led you down that path and what you think the story you got across on the album was.
I think as far as I think there's not a specific story. I think there's some themes with this project. I think musically there's a story.
Okay.
It's pretty passionate. It's pretty high energy, and then I try to take it down to somewhere smooth towards the second half of it. And musically, I try to tell a story to where the songs exist as a unit, and not when I want to listen to West Side, when I listen to J. Cole's Forest Hills Drive, I play the album. Okay. Like I don't just go and play a song, you know. So like, and not everybody has time to do that all the time. But same thing with Chance's third album. What is it called? Coloring Book.
It's an experience.
I want to hear the whole album.
The whole thing together. It's almost like each song leads into the next,
exactly.
adds to it, and then when you put all the pieces together, it makes a beautiful picture.
It's one. Yeah. So I didn't want this to just be some playlist, and so that's kind of like musically. I tried to tell a story. I tried to take it somewhere, go up, go down. Each song though, I am very like subject based. So each song does have its own story. I think the most common theme is just like been my frustration with this journey to try to make this a career, make this a lucrative career to where this is all I do, and I think if anything that would be the main story throughout the project. But yeah, I think musically is where I focused on a story.
I definitely got to talk to you about that Mozzie feature as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
How did that come about?
So we actually it's crazy. I made Checked with my homie Harvard Blue, who's the last verse on the song. We made it. I was like, I need a rapper, and so like,
who you need better than Mozzie?
I was like, who better for literally that day? I was like, I need Mozzie, and it took months and months of trying to get in contact and have ourselves prepared for that. And we reached out to his A&R. His A&R messed with it. Mozzie messed with it, and they sent it back. They sent it back in like a week after we sent it to them.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa. Like, he didn't just get on it, like, he killed it. You feel me? Like, he did his thing. And so, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted Mozzie, is because we call him Mr. Consistent. Like, I don't think I've heard a bad verse from Mozzie. He's a real rapper.
And he stays in the studio.
He stays cooking. And even the fact that he shouted himself out on the song, like, before he got, I was like, this did not just happen, because we grew up on Mozzie. Like, when I was in high school, that's who we was listening to. And he his A&R called, and he was like, hey, Mozzie wanted to know, did you like it? I was like, bro, what? Of course, I loved that. I loved it, bro. So yeah, that's how that came about. But it was good.
So you said you had sent it to him, you was waiting on it for months. How long were you working on the project in total?
The first song that I made was Checked, and I think I made that maybe May.
Okay.
May is when I made Checked, and then I wasn't ready to. When I say months, like they actually got back to us fast, but months till I was ready to send it to him.
Okay.
Because it took months from. I knew after I made it, the song was hard. It was a hit, but I wanted to perfect everything up until like 2 weeks until the release date. I was touching that song, like trying to fix stuff.
Yeah.
And so after I made Checked, I was like, okay, let me try to get this other stuff going. And it was really tough, honestly, because usually what I do is I just make songs in general. I like making all types of music, and then I just throw it together and call it a project. But this project, I specifically wanted it to have a certain sound, and that's why it took a long time. But I think it all turned out well.
Do you think the pandemic had any effect on the recording process? Because I know none of us were expecting it. None of us could have thought that we were going to be locked up. All the things with George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, the election. A lot of people are going through a lot of things mentally, emotionally. Did that play any part into your music? Did that change anything that you were writing about?
I think it affected my creative process. I make music off of my real experiences, and my main thing I make music off of is frustration. And so in the beginning, I was at home all day. Like when the pandemic first started and we were first quarantined, I was at home all day. I couldn't make any music because there was nothing going on, And so, but it was a good thing because as an artist, I need a break sometimes. But ideas don't stop coming, so I don't know how to take a break. You feel me? So, but that kind of forced me to have a break, and because I took a break for so long, I was able to like push through once I was ready to start. I thought about writing about what was going on with Black Lives Matter and all of the police killings and things of that nature, but I don't want to make it about me. You feel me? I don't want to make money off of that. I'd rather, you want to talk about that, let's talk about it. But like other than that, nah.
Okay. And I definitely feel like we are in a really interesting place in this world because we put so much emphasis on celebrities, musicians, the people that are always in the public eye, that when you are making music, making content, you almost feel obligated to be like, I have to say something. I have to say something. When in reality, you got to take a step back and think about what you got to say. Think before you speak. That way it will actually be impactful and make change.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about R&B as a genre as a whole, because I go on Apple Music and I see that that's what they put the new album as.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
I do. It's weird. So like when I make a R&B song, I feel like I approach it from a rap perspective. Like I'm not singing it as an R&B artist, but it's still an R&B song. And I feel like likewise when I make a rap song, I'm approaching it from like Checked is a rap song, but I'm singing, you know what I mean? And I'm really singing. So I'm an R&B artist, and that's why we decided that was the best genre to classify that project as. However, R&B is wide, you know,
Yes.
and it's going a lot of places. And R&B has always had a tight relationship with hip hop.
Yes.
You know, they've always been close. And so, if me as an R&B artist have songs that sound like hip hop, well, that's as true to R&B as you can get. I tried to. There's a lot of different lanes in R&B.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Janae Aiko doesn't sound like Luther Vandross. You feel me? At all. Because R&B's come a long way, and there's so many twists and turns. Even in the 80s or in the 70s, R&B was just disco, and it's like this isn't R&B. This is disco. You know? So it's like
if we're getting
it's all names.
Our R&B bag could go deep. That's my favorite genre of music.
Yeah,
R&B will
same.
always be the greatest thing to me. My favorite is I came up on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that music.
That's an
that gives
album.
me that
That's an
R&B rap parallel so
Yeah.
perfectly, blending genres.
Yeah.
That's my.
She's
one of my
probably
goals.
the queen of neo soul. I would say.
Thank you.
She's probably the queen of neo soul. Like her and D'Angelo is the queen and kings of neo soul. I would say.
Got
You
me
feel
up for
me?
that. Those are my two. Those are my two. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Black Messiah.
Yeah. No.
Black Messiah.
Bro.
Voodoo.
Untitled. That might be the
Untitled.
That
bro.
might be the greatest song ever made. Honestly,
I could get with that.
it could
I
honestly
could get
be
with
one of
that.
the greatest songs ever made.
Oh my God. He got stuff like Shit Damn Motherfucker in 1999.
Bro,
In 1995. People weren't doing that.
they weren't. That's
People
what
weren't thinking
they
like
weren't
that.
doing that, bro. That's what really amazes me when people innovators.
Mhm.
You know, that's what amazes me. That's what I do my best to be, but I don't know how they do it.
I think that's why I was honestly drawn to your music, because even though we say like, oh, like you could fit in this genre, there's other contemporaries doing things that are similar. I think that the fact that you're part of a group of people that are trying to push the genres forward, not just rap or R&B, but both of them together, that says something, and that's why I think people will continually be drawn to your music.
Thank you, man.
So, talking about some of our favorites, who are some dream collaborators for you in the future? Like some people that you just are really looking forward to working with.
I mean, I love making music. So like there's so many people there's so much. That's another thing quarantine did for me. When I was making this project, I decided to stop watching TV. No sports, no TV, no Netflix, and no social media. Okay. And I literally had nothing to do but to listen to music and make music. And so I've listened to a lot of artists, and I want to make music with everybody. I think some dream collaborators is Kehlani. I just hear the time and effort she puts into her music.
She's another one that lives in the studio.
Yeah, I can just hear like she just like a lot of time and effort. J. Cole, obviously. He's my favorite rapper. I really just want to learn. I want to learn from Ty Dolla $ign.
Yes.
I want to figure out
Hitmaker.
Like you teach me how to do them background vocals like that, man. Like please.
King of features. The title of his album killed me, man.
Yeah, I like that album a lot. I like that. Or Anderson .Paak.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean I want to work with everybody, but you know, first I had to work on myself, you know, and get myself ready so that way when my time comes, I'm prepared.
I feel that. Well, what can the people expect from you coming up? Whether it's new sounds, new projects, some features, what you got coming?
I think we wanna start making some more R&B music for December and January. Mm-hmm. So I've been working on that, and I've been working on making music with my producer. I am Dylan Allen. He was on the song Get Back on that project, and we're talking about maybe doing a project together, me and him. So but yeah, who knows what the future holds. I just keep on making music, and I'll always have something in my back pocket.
Man.
Always have something.
I feel like going forward, we just have so much uncertainty that all you can do is just put your head down and just keep grinding.
Exactly.
Keep working.
Exactly.
A lot of different stuff. There's a lot of new music coming out, a lot of new vibes. I think a lot of great things are going to come out of this, you know, a lot of great creativity, if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, man, I want to thank you for rocking with us again here at Stereo Vision, bro.
I appreciate you,
Great interview.
Thank you, man.
Thank y'all for rocking with us too. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Check out D Boone, Apple Music, Spotify. Get all that. Stream the new album, West Side Soul. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all again in the future. Peace.
Thank you.